Imagine your organs getting sucked by a vacuum. That sounds pretty bizarre and honestly painful, right? Well, this actually happens more frequently than you think. Approximately 4.9 million people in the United States live with cirrhosis, an incurable chronic liver failure condition that's caused by alcoholism, heart disease, and the end stages of cancer. Of those 4.9 million, 80% suffer from ascites, the accumulation of fluid in the abdomen. On average, this fluid can range anywhere from 5 to 10 liters. So as you can imagine, carrying around this extra weight can be extremely painful for patients, hinder everyday activities, and make it difficult for them to even breathe. Patients must undergo a procedure called paracentesis to remove fluid from the abdomen via a drainage catheter. Acidic fluid continuously accumulates, so patients need to return for drainage as frequently as every few days to get this done. While paracentesis procedures are expected to be simple and painless, oftentimes a mental tissue and bowel will get suctioned onto the drainage catheter, tripling the procedure duration and increasing patient discomfort and pain. As of 2019, the market for both paracentesis and thoracentesis catheters in the United States and Canada was around $150 million, making this our total addressable market. And this value is projected to see a 50% increase by 2025. On average, a paracentesis procedure costs around $500, and based only on Medicare statistics, around 150,000 paracentesis procedures are done annually. Therefore, a very conservative estimate of our serviceable market is 75 million in the United States.
Considering the clinical need and available market, we created the double bubble to reduce the duration of the procedure by preventing occlusion. The double bubble will use a dual balloon mechanism to protect catheter drainage holes, which will lead to faster procedures, less patient discomfort, and increased revenue for healthcare facilities, as they would be able to treat more patients. The catheter contains 1 lumen for fluid drainage and 2 lumen for balloon inflation. Each inflation lumen has a port used to push sterile saline into each balloon. Once the balloons are inflated, acidic fluid is drained using a vacuum pump. Bowel and tissue are kept away from the drainage holes by the circumferential protection provided by the balloons.
The double bubble addresses the identified user needs for both patients and healthcare providers. Due to our catheter's occlusion prevention capabilities, healthcare providers don't have to constantly readjust the catheter and are able to drain fluid faster, leading to faster procedures and less wasted time in their already busy days. The patients experience less discomfort as well with those shorter procedure times and less pain because their bowels are not being suctioned against the catheter. In order to simulate an abdomen filled with acidic fluid, we used a plastic bucket filled with water. The bowel was simulated using inflated long balloons wrapped in plastic grocery bags to replicate the flimsiness of the bowel. Water balloons in a floating plastic bag were also placed in the bucket to simulate additional tissue and bowel. To compare the double bubble to a standard catheter, we drained 3 liters of water from a simulated abdomen containing a total of 9 liters using our prototype, and then used that same mechanism without the balloons. We conducted 3 trials on each catheter and found the double bubble to be 9.23% faster than the catheter without balloons. We then used the same 2 catheters, but this time we conducted 3 trials where we drained 1 liter out of 1.5 liters present in our simulated abdomen to mimic catheter occlusion that occurs with lower fluid volumes. Under these conditions, the double bubble was 25.81% faster at draining the fluid than the standard catheter.
Compared to current paracentesis catheters, the value of the double bubble is clear. By preventing catheter occlusion, the double bubble decreases patient discomfort, reduces procedure duration, and increases hospital revenue. Our dual balloon technology is gentle on patients, and the vast majority of healthcare providers are familiar with balloon catheters, so the device will be easily understood and safely integrated into the procedure. Most importantly, once the physician places the double bubble inside the patient, they can leave it unattended while our catheter does all the work to prevent occlusion.
The double bubble is a Class II medical device, and it is substantially equivalent to existing paracentesis catheters. Therefore, the next step would be to complete a 510(k) submission with the FDA, for which we would need an investment of around $3,000. Paracentesis catheters on the market typically come as a part of a kit containing all the materials needed for the procedure. With this in mind, we plan to develop a 2-scale functional prototype and pitch the double bubble to kit manufacturers so it could be quickly integrated into the standard of care. Paracentesis procedures are crucial to the quality of life of those who suffer from ascites. These patients deserve to come in for a quick and painless procedure instead of one that may harm them. With the double bubble, healthcare providers will be able to deliver this experience to patients while also optimizing their own practices.